Hey y'all, if you are new here, welcome. My name is Chrissy and I am your go-to source for all things wellness mindset with a large dash of fitness. Today I wanted to talk about imposter syndrome. I think pretty much everybody watching this video has experienced imposter syndrome at one time or another in life, whether it was in school or in the real world as an adult. Imposter syndrome has the ability to hold us back from doing things that we know would benefit us, but we're so stuck in this mindset of not being good enough, not being able to develop the skills we need to get this thing done. Just overall thinking you're incapable of doing something new because it's scary. I'm here to tell you that, number one, there's nothing wrong with you if you are experiencing imposter syndrome or if you've ever experienced imposter syndrome, because it's perfectly normal. Pretty much everybody has experienced, you know what? No, I'm going to say everybody has experienced it at one time or another. Some of us just are more honest than others. And number two, you have to realize that imposter syndrome is an imposter. Just because you're feeling incapable, you're having these thoughts that are trying to steer you off path of what you really want to do, doesn't mean that the thoughts are true. We have to learn to look at our thoughts as what they are. Thoughts. They're nothing more than thoughts passing through your mind. That doesn't mean that's who you are. We have millions of thoughts a day, and we can't control every single thought that comes through our mind. I think a lot of times different thoughts that we have are just like different scenarios that are playing out in our minds, because anything can happen. But you have the ability to choose which thoughts to listen to and which ones to ignore. So you have to be really conscious about not listening to the thoughts that are telling you that you can't do something, and instead listen more to the thoughts telling you that you can do it. I think that the human brain is really inherently negative because it wants to keep us safe. It wants to keep us in our little box, or, like put together, safe and out of harm's way, because that's what it's designed to do. It's not doing anything that it wasn't naturally programmed to do. It's really up to us, though, as conscious beings, to decide which thoughts we're going to listen to and which ones we're going to ignore. So you can't always listen to the scary thoughts that your brain is giving you, because it's programmed to keep you safe. Sometimes you have to fight against that and do things that seem like they're scary, because really they're not as scary as we're making them out to be. That's just our brains making the situation bigger than what it actually is. A lot of times when we do things that we were scared to do or nervous to do, we realize that it really wasn't even that big a deal. We blew it up to such a large proportion that we scare ourselves for nothing. But we never know when we're blowing a situation up and when it's actually that scary until we actually do something. So it's really all about discernment. You have to look at each individual situation on a case-by-case basis and figure out which situations you should listen to your brain's fear mechanism and which situations you should be ignoring your brain's fear mechanism and going and doing the thing anyway. So, for example, a lot of people are afraid to go to the gym and work out because they think that people are watching them, people are going to judge them, and they feel like they look stupid. And I'm not going to say that nobody's watching you in the gym, but at the same time, nobody's watching you in the gym. You may make eye contact with somebody, but 9 times out of 10, those people are like spaced out and they're not really watching you. They're just taking a break from their workout and you just happen to make eye contact. That doesn't mean that everybody's watching you and that you should be self-conscious. It means that you should mind your business, because if you aren't looking at other people, you won't see anybody looking at you. I don't want you to go into the gym with the mindset of everybody's watching you and judging you, because that's just not true. It's not true. You may have people here and there, but there's really nothing scary. You're scaring yourself out of going because of a fear that's in your brain and you're listening to it. Just go and do it. It's not scary. Nobody's gonna, I think a lot of people nowadays have a fear of being recorded and placed on the internet. And I'm not gonna say that doesn't happen, because obviously it happens. There are assholes here and there who record strangers and post them online, but that's far and few in between. Most people in the gym are worried about themselves and they're not worried about you. So you can go in, you can be a beginner, mess up all the exercises, learn as you go. It's okay. Everybody's been there at one point or another. I promise you, there's not one single person that goes to the gym who started working out and had everything perfect. And if they tell you otherwise, they're a liar. Everybody had their trial period where they had to learn. And even now, like, I've been working out for so long, there are still things that I'm learning. So there's nothing to be embarrassed about. You may feel crazy, but just realize that that is just a feeling. You don't look crazy. There's nothing crazy about you. There's nothing scary here. Just go do your thing and you'll be fine. You'll figure it out as you go. Another example that I want to use is starting a business, because obviously I'm an entrepreneur as well. And starting a business is terrifying. because there's so many things to learn. And it seems like it's just a non-stop learning process. There's always something new to learn. And for me personally, I have been entrepreneurial for a long time now. I first had the idea of starting my own business when I was about 18, 19, something like that. And it's been a very long process of trial and error, learning what works for me, learning what doesn't work for me, learning different things that I can't do, different things that I should be doing. And it's an ever evolving process. And yeah, it's scary because you're putting yourself out there and doing something different as opposed to just going and working a job forever. There's nobody over you telling you exactly what you need to do at all times. There is a lot of learning, like it's constant learning. You have to always be open-minded and willing to learn something new, and you're bound to make mistakes. It's impossible to be in the space of business and not make mistakes, but that has to be something you're okay with. You have to be willing to accept that you will never know everything and you will always have to learn something new. And while it is scary, you have to just put yourself out there and do it. Don't listen to your brain telling you that you can't do something. And this is something I'm still learning. I don't want anybody watching this to think that I have all the answers and I'm perfect and I'm talking at you and I just feel like I know everything, because that's just not the case. Like, I'm learning every single day. And that's part of the reason why I want to talk about things like this, because I feel like a lot of people put on this facade like they have all the answers, they have it all together. And truthfully, nobody has it all together. Everybody is learning. No matter what type of appearance somebody is putting on social media, trying to lead you to believe that they have all the answers, they do not. Nobody has all the answers. Every single person on this planet is on the planet for the first time, and they're doing everything for the first time. But a lot of people don't share the trials and tribulations they go through because they want to look perfect for some reason. I don't really get that. I don't really understand why people put on this facade on social media when we're all having the human experience together. We may not all be having the exact same human experience, but we're all having the human experience for the first time, and nobody knows what they're doing. So if you're watching this, I never want you to feel like an imposter. I want you to realize that every single thing you're feeling and thinking is perfectly normal, but you have to have discernment when you're listening to your thoughts. Don't listen to the thoughts that are telling you can't do something. You have to be more intentional about listening to the thoughts that are telling you that you can do whatever you want. You can learn any skill that you need to learn as long as you're willing to put in the work. You have to listen more to those thoughts than the bad thoughts, because the bad thoughts are going to keep you stagnant. The bad thoughts are going to keep you in a situation that you hate, and they're going to keep you from advancing and ever achieving the things that you want to achieve. So you have to be very, very intentional about which thoughts you're tuning into on a regular basis. I never want you to feel stuck. If you feel stuck right now, the whole purpose of my social media accounts is to help people to feel unstuck. There's a lot of self-work that you need to do to make sure that you're not sitting in a constant state of feeling stuck. And some of the things you can do to try and free your mind from this state of feeling stuck is watching what you're consuming on social media. Number one, because everybody's on social media scrolling all the time, you have to be very intentional about the type of content you're consuming. There are so many people, like I said, putting on a facade like they're perfect online. And if that's all you're consuming, then most likely you're looking at these people's lives and you're being envious and you're coveting what they have instead of focusing on yourself and what you can do to get what you need in your life. You shouldn't be watching other people who have these things and being impressed and feeling like you aren't good enough, because you are good enough. Whatever that person has nothing to do with you. This person having all the success, all these material items means nothing. It means nothing. Number one, because a lot of these people are liars and they don't actually own these things that they're showing you. Number two, because that's not yours. You shouldn't be looking at what somebody else has and wanting that for yourself. You need to be focused on how you can get yourself together to put yourself in a position to get the things that you want. Don't compare yourself to other people. Like, that can be a really toxic trap, looking at what other people have on social media and feeling bad about yourself because you don't have those things. Try not to do that anymore. Matter of fact, unfollow those people. Whoever these people are that you follow, that you are coveting their lifestyle, you're looking enviously, even if you don't realize that you're doing it enviously, you are. If you're somebody who like camps out people's comments, you can't wait for them to post because you want to see what outfit she has or what she's done with her business or who she's in a relationship with, you know, things like that. Things that really don't matter to your life. I want you to be very, very conscious about that, and preferably unfollow these people because you don't need to be watching that. It's really putting you in a negative mindset watching these people and looking at what they have and what they have going on. Because if you're focused on what somebody else has and what they have going on, there's no way that you're fully focused on yourself. You're watching this other person live their life instead of figuring out how to live your life more abundantly. And that's not okay. Number 2, I would recommend reading more books. I was recently told, well, it wasn't that recently, but within the last year, I became aware that a lot of adults don't read books. And I really don't understand that. Like, it's absolutely insane to me how many people stop reading after high school. Reading is fundamental. Like, not to be corny, but it's so important to be feeding your brain on a regular basis. And I'm not talking about the smutty novels. I'm not talking about fiction novels that put you in a parallel universe and let you disassociate from reality. I'm speaking specifically on books that will help you grow as a person. Everybody doesn't like those type of books for whatever reason. I don't really get that. Like, there's so many other options besides fiction novels, and you need to be feeding your brain with information that will help you grow. Whether it's a motivational book, a book on whatever skill you're interested in learning, a book on whatever business you're interested in going into, a book on meditation. I don't know, like, there's so many options of nonfiction books that can help you to grow as a person. And if you don't read, I really, really, really strongly recommend that you go to the library today or tomorrow, sometime very, very soon, and check out a book on something that will help you to grow. Something else I like to do that I feel like counts as reading, some people don't count it as reading, but audiobooks. If you're somebody who has Spotify, Apple Music, whatever other streaming platforms there are for music, you should be listening to audiobooks. That's an easy way to get a book up here without having to physically read. I know when I work, I like to listen to audiobooks sometimes because it's a nice contrast from always listening to music. You're not feeding your brain with music. A lot of music has no message nowadays, and it's not telling you anything that you need to really hear. So if you're replacing some of that with an audiobook, not even necessarily replacing all of your music with audiobooks, but just incorporating audiobooks along with your music, it's a good way to get yourself in a better mindset because you're getting this information that's feeding you instead of just being entertained. And along those same lines, podcasts. Listen to some good podcasts that will get you in a good headspace. Podcasts can be so valuable. Like, there's not only the relationship podcasts and all that stupid mess that people are tuned into. There are also podcasts on actual skills that can help you. Take the time to research some of those. I might put some of my favorite podcasts in the description box if you're interested in seeing some of the podcasts that I listen to. And also, when I drop my podcast, I expect y'all to listen. Number 3, I would say prioritize taking time to just sit and be and get your thoughts together. It's so easy with the hustle and bustle of life to get caught up in whatever tasks you have to do and to neglect your thoughts. But it's important to sit and observe your thoughts so you know what type of headspace you're in, because it's very, very easy to not realize when you're not in a good place, when you're just going and not taking any time to think. It's also just a lot harder to strategize on different moves you need to make when you're always going. You're always thinking about how you're going to pay bills or what you're going to eat, what you're going to do after work tomorrow, you know, just everyday life things. It's important to take some time for you and just think about what you need to do. What do you really have going on? What are some things that you want to do? Take the time to sit and think about these things. Get a notebook or something. Write down your thoughts. Write out the things that you're thinking about doing, but you're not sure how to implement. And after you have these things written out, start to strategize how you can implement them into your life. Don't just let these thoughts sit in your mind because they're not doing you any good there. You need to be taking action to get the things you want, or you'll never have them. Because they aren't just going to materialize in life because you think about them sometimes. You have to actively go after these things. And if you're not really sure what you want, but you know you're not happy with your situation, take the time to sit down and write out some things you like. Write out things you like and how these things could work to benefit you in your day-to-day life. Don't just sit in misery. Jump into action. Figure out actionable steps you can take to start to get the things that you want because you deserve them. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'll wrap it up there. But I just want you to keep top of mind that you deserve everything that you want in this life, but you have to be willing to work for it. You can't expect it to just fall into your lap. Speaking from personal experience, like in my early 20s, I spent so much time just thinking that things were supposed to happen for me, and they're not supposed to just happen for you. You have to be very, very intentional about the things that you want. You can't let imposter syndrome win. You have to be willing to fight back against imposter syndrome, or else you're never going to get to where you want to be, because you are always going to have negative thoughts. There's no way around it. It's human nature to be inherently negative. You have to make the choice every single day to be positive and listen to the positive side of your brain that tells you that you can do whatever you want to do. Because if you aren't actively trying to listen to those thoughts, then the negative thoughts are going to always win. There's no way around it. I really, really hope that this message connects with whoever it needs to connect with. And I hope that I was able to inspire you to start to take action in your life to get the things that you want. Because we have to choose to win every single day. Choose to win or sit back and lose. The choice is really yours. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that goodness. And I will see you in the next one.